Jean-Michel Severino, president of Investisseurs. Press release. The investment company with the support of long-term committed investors, including the African Development Bank and Soros Economic Development Fund, IPDEV2 will be in a position to achieve its mandate, training, sponsoring and launching 10 impact funds in Sub-Saharan Africa. 5 impact funds have already been launched in Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Madagascar, Niger and Senegal. IPDEV2 reaches its final closing with support from leading impact investors following a first closing at €9.5 million in October 2015. IPDEV2 realized its final closing at €11.5 million, bringing its equity to €21 million. This final closing brings together 7 new investors, including individuals, private and institutional investors, African Development Bank, BNP Paribas, Soros Economic Development Fund, and 2 investors already present in the first closing, the Adolf H. London Charitable Foundation and FISEA, the Investment and Support Fund for Businesses in Africa managed by Proparco. IPDEV2 is the first impact investing projects of this kind supported by the African Development Bank. Not only does it allow small and early-stage enterprises to access capital, but it also strongly focuses on the capacity building of African investment teams. IPDEV2 paves the way to extend the reach of impact investing in Sub-Saharan Africa, says Stefan Alatambi, director of the Financial Sector Development Department at the AFDB. IPDEV2 has a proven track record of helping to catalyze early-stage entrepreneurship in Africa through its mentorship of local investment teams. These teams are deeply rooted in their communities, and are best positioned to allocate resources into SMEs that are otherwise excluded from the formal financial system. These SMEs increase economic opportunities for the vulnerable populations we seek to reach, notes Manuel Costescu from the Soros Economic Development Fund, a part of the Open Society Foundations. In addition to its own €21 million investment capacity, IPDEV2 has raised €15 million from African co-investors, who invest in the African funds. Finally, IPDEV2 is also a blended finance program. A €19 million grant program has been secured covering a technical assistance facility for SMEs as well, seed funding for SMEs and startups. Launch of 5 more impact funds in the coming years in Sub-Saharan Africa. Since its inception 3 years ago, IPDEV2 has launched 5 African impact funds: Teranga Capital in Senegal, Comoé Capital in Côte d'Ivoire, Miara Cop in Madagascar, Synergy Burkina in Burkina Faso, Synergy Niger in Niger. Together they have already financed 27 early-stage SMEs in equity and seed funding and raised €15 million in local and international capital. To learn more, download IPDEV2's Impact Report. IPDEV2 will sponsor another 5 impact funds in the coming years in West, Central and East Africa. IPDEV2 partners with each impact fund manager by bringing capital, tools, coaching and a network of African and international mentors, investors and entrepreneurs. IPDEV2 will be selecting 5 additional committed and talented first-time investment teams to manage the next 5 funds. The overarching goal pursued by IPDEV2 is to finance promising African startups and early-stage businesses. Despite their considerable growth and impact potential, many African SMEs remain neglected by the financial sector as they are costly to reach and face stronger barriers in raising funds. In the coming decade, the funds sponsored by IPDEV2 will aim to circumvent these barriers and finance up to 500 early-stage SMEs in 10 countries, with investment needs between €20,000 and €500,000. With IPDEV2, At the same time, IPDEV2 also connects the ecosystem of African investors to the most promising SMEs with the highest professional standards of equity investment, explains Jean-Michel Severino, CEO of Investisseurs. Through this innovative mechanism, IPDEV2 contributes to promoting the emergence of new champions of African entrepreneurship as well as building a community of investment professionals across the continent. About Investisseurs. Since its creation in 2002, These enterprises create local added value and long-term employment, and generate important social, environmental and governance impact. The team develops long-term partnerships with entrepreneurs, sharing management expertise and knowledge that is useful for improving business strategy, structuring, and success. Created by Patrice Hoppenot in 2002 and headed by Jean-Michel Severino since 2011, the To read more on our activities, visit